for better or worse, the Spokane Blues. Made of brick and mortar, they cast shadows like flat stones on the alleys and the transients who wander there alone, or in pairs sharing a bottle wrapped in a dirty paper bag. Stubble beards, stubby cigarettes, and dry lips take a drag while the ledges above pigeons stretch their wings out to the sun, dropping their disdain on whoever the whatever might come. Another crapshoot, so they say. It's the daily game you play. Wander through the preambles and propositions and dangling modifiers of 100 disconnected sentences from the denizens and cool and the refugees from school. Well, the sun came up this morning. The paper was on the porch. Coffee grinder grinding, cat scratching at the door. There was a story of a fat man and his coffee-colored bride. Ostracized by all his friends, and he never did quite realize why marrying the woman he loved and desired should be met with such disdain, outcast from that world of moneyed men. And in that era of civic virtue and increasing isolation, the fat man sunk deeper into his own desperation till he shot himself in the head with a little pocket pistol, but didn't die, locked away in a mental hospital his last days in lingering shame, while that dark woman he loved for 30 years wore the locket that bore his name. Buildings in this city bear the dirt and scars of time, a patina of enduring through decades of weather and grime, monuments to history with a pretense towards nobility, standing above the blurring of the streets. Horses, trolleys, trucks, and hybrid cars appear and disappear like vapor in the heat. And the faces of the people, that chain of life and death, reveal the insignificance of the way of all that's flesh, never put in books of luminaries and dignitaries and the like, whose monuments stand above us in the morning light. And the trains, they come and go above the bright graffiti glow, but even that, the ravages of time will turn to fade. History has escaped us, replaced by celebrity news. And they say the morning's not the right time to play the blues, but I have to wonder at the impertinence in a civic stuck in time when white men and silver money-head brown people serve their food and wine, settled in little houses down where the river flooded in the spring, which now have the air of quaint respectability and cool artistic heat. And for what you know of history, there is so little that remains that the Spanish Inquisition is probably about. Some teachers claim that the Mexican flag is disruptive, should be thrown in the trash to lie with the French fries and refried greens in the dreams of becoming somebody important, making yourself a name. And when you see all those changes, don't it always look the same? Woo! You're silent in the morning as you walk those shallowed halls. The traces of your smiles are locked behind glass upon the walls. Between wondering and wandering, I seem to have nowhere to go. And the little moisture left in the earth, it's just the remnants of the snow. And the sky's a dry blue, windy with a trace of dirt brown haze. And it's all the more apparent it won't rain again for days. There's a strange disposition. It's not just in the sky. I never seem to know much, and sometimes I wonder why, but mostly I keep doing and going and standing as if in place, like the buildings in this town, standing high above the race, and every year the racers come and go, leave their trash blowing in the streets. It's a sure sign the spring is coming, though it's long before the heat. suppose the pigeons will keep flying above that alley wine, and while these buildings wage their battles against the ravages of time, standing in their shadows, I can feel the Spokane Blues. While Utah Phillips passing got just a small note in the news. The foundations go down deeply in a bedrock of money and race, where the color is green and silver, except for that written on your face.